The story begins with a man named Joe, who was a manager in a company. One day, when he opened his eyes, he saw that he was locked in a prison-like building. He had no idea how he reached here. There were high walls around him and a building in front of him. There was an iron door and a stone grate in the middle of the room. The poor guy got scared and started pleading for help, but the prisoner in the room next to him asked him to keep his mouth shut. Then he went near the gate and asked this man, "Why? What's going on?" The man said that Joe has been given drugs that will make him feel very sad for several days. He told him his name was Nick and then he advised Joe to rest, because tomorrow would be a very difficult day. Joe was not able to understand how to get out of here, and then this guard threw some food and a water bottle through the hole in the door, who immediately ran towards him and started explaining to the guard that his wife is pregnant and that is why he has to go out, but the guard did not listen to him and closed the hole, due to which Joe's hand also got injured. After this, Joe bandaged his hand with his tie and started eating food. Then in the evening suddenly he saw a light on the wall. And then a computerized voice told him that he was welcome to the Advanced Career Training Program. Joe still did not understand anything, so he asked Nick and came to know that it was a prison-like place built by his company, where many people like Joe are brought to the office for not doing good work. Then the next morning Joe got more food. Then his eyes fell on the ground where a human skeleton was buried. He got very scared and once again reached near the wall and asked Nick if anyone had died here. Then Nick told that many people have died while working here. He could not understand how the company could do this to them. Then Nick said that joining the company before that, they had all signed a contract in which they agreed to this program. No one ever read the entire contract and now they will have to face the punishment. After this, the computerized voice said that, from 6 a.m. in the morning, he will have to rotate this stone mill till 10 p.m. After every round he will get 1 point and he will have to complete 50 points in the day, otherwise he will be punished. The prisoner who has the least number of rounds will have to lose his life no matter what. When his 50 rounds for the day were over, Joe once again begged to go home, but Nick from the other room said that there was no point in doing so, so there was no other option, so Joe got down to work. It was not easy to rotate such a heavy mill, but Joe tried his best and by the end of the day he completed 100 points. Then he got tired and went to sleep, but suddenly he woke up when he heard the sound of a prisoner screaming because he was about to die. The next morning, when Joe was eating while talking to Nick came to know that yesterday Joe had completed 100 rounds. Nick advised him not to do so much work, otherwise the company would make him do more work. But Joe felt that by working harder he would soon be free from here and would be able to meet his pregnant wife once again. Later, while he was working, he remembered the day when he had gifted a new house to his wife Kate. Kate was very happy. The next day Kate asked Joe to take leave from the office and go to the doctor, but Joe seemed discontent about it. On this Kate became very sad because Joe gave more importance to work than family. Then suddenly there was an alarm. Buzz and Joe saw that today he had completed 150 rounds. After this the guard called him to the door and asked him to take off his clothes. Then Joe felt that he was going to be killed. He pleaded a lot but the guard did not listen to him. And the door opened again. When Joe was brought to a pool, he realized that he was called only to take a bath. In this manner, the days passed and Joe continued to work hard in the scorching heat. Due to the scorching heat, he started drinking more water and soon his bottle was full. When he was exhausted, he asked the guard for more water, but Nick said that they only got enough water to survive. Well, he continued his work despite being tired. Suddenly he remembered that he had promised Kate that he would take her to dinner. He got tired and fell down, and then AI said he had completed 370 laps. While resting, Joe noticed that the name Alex was written below the handle. He asked Nick and he told that Alex was the only person who managed to get out of here alive. Then the company gave a pen to Joe as a reward, but it was of no use to Joe. That is why Joe started shouting in anger. Well, the next day he saw that now he got $50 per day. Instead of completing 370 rounds, he asked how he complete so many rounds with his injured hands, but the computerized voice said that humans are capable of doing more than they think. Then when he started rotating the mill, he saw that it took only 1 round. Even after this he did not get the point, but the computer told him that he has been punished, according to which he will get 1 point after doing 2 rounds, which means he will have to do 370 rounds. Now he had no option, so he started working, but in the end, His body left him and he fell. Then a voice came that he had not completed today's rounds. Then Kate's picture appeared on the wall and the AI said that if Joe did not do the work, Kate would also have to come here. Joe got very scared and promised to complete the target tomorrow. Next day Joe tucked the handle under his coat so that there would be no pain on his wound and then he started turning the mill with all his might. After a while, his mind caught up with him. He started playing strange games. He could see himself laughing at himself, but Joe did not pay attention to it and finally, just a few moments before 10 p.m. he accomplished his target. Poor Joe got very tired and fell asleep. In the morning, AI showed him a video of his wife and son as a gift, which brought tears to Joe's eyes because he was far away from them, but later he asked Nick how Alex got out of here. At first Nick was hesitant but when he found out about Joe's unborn child, he decided to help Joe. He asked Joe to look at the place behind the pillar where the camera could not see. Joe went and saw that there was a circle there. Actually there was a hollow place and soon Joe started digging into it with his pen. Days passed and Joe kept making the hole bigger in his free time. Eventually the hole became so big that he could easily get out. Joe entered inside and felt that there must be someone here. There would be a way, but then the guard found him and washed him thoroughly. When his eyes opened, he saw that the hole was filled again and he was now punished to complete 1,000 rounds. On the other hand, Nick had also supported him, that is why his legs were cut. He was in so much pain that he couldn't work. This made Joe feel very bad and he started thinking of doing something but Nick said that AI can't understand what humans say. Then it is revealed that Nick is the one who founded the company. While working in IT cell, Joe had designed this prison. Then Joe got an idea and said that if no prisoner takes even a single round, then everyone's score will be equal and then the computer will not be able to punish anyone. He convinced all the prisoners present there not to work. Soon the day started but no one worked, but as soon as the day ended the AI announced that all those who had 0 points would be killed. Everyone was scared of this. The prisoners started working and Joe's plan failed when Nick told him to spin the mill or he would be killed. Eventually Joe completed one spin before the time ran out but he felt very bad for Nick because he couldn't take even a single round without legs. That night, Nick revealed that he was not Nick but Alex. He also tried to escape through the hole in the wall, but the guards caught him and put him in another room. He deliberately hid this from Joe, because he thought that maybe this time someone would be able to get out of the hole. Well, in the end they both said goodbye to each other. Joe lay down to sleep when he heard Alex's painful screams as he was being tortured to death. Then the next day the AI showed him another video in which Kate and her son were now walking. Seeing this Joe realized how long he had been imprisoned and he became furious and started abusing the company, but then the computer said that such behavior will not be tolerated and he sentenced Joe to death. After this, many people from the company came there along with the guard and started preparing the lethal injection. Meanwhile, the guard started speaking good and bad about Joe's wife and son, which made Joe angry. Then AI said that the guard could not do his job, so now if Joe kills the guard then he will be sent to the next level. Hearing this Joe stopped and started shouting. There is no point, the company wanted him to become a killer, but Joe would not let it happen. Then suddenly Joe came back to reality and saw that he was sitting in his office. In reality, all this was a modern virtual program in which all the people were forced to work on machines. Then his HR, who looked like the same guard, told Joe that it may have seemed to him that many months had passed but in reality only an hour had passed. His son was not born yet and everything before as it is. Then through this experiment, HR calculated that Joe had not been able to get the promotion till now because he had not been challenged properly. When they put Joe in the program, he failed every single task given to him. Finally, the company decided to promote Joe and then gave Pickle Joe in his new cabinet, so Joe could do better work. Apart from this, he also asked Joe to sign an agreement according to which he would not give any information about today's experiment. After she left, Joe called Kate and upon hearing her voice, Joe's eyes filled with tears and he said that he loves Kate and their unborn child very much. If you like the video, please like it and subscribe to the channel. See you in next video.